So next we're covering energy, and I think this is such a really nice place to look at and to think about. Energy really is obviously the things that is enables you to be you, the best version of you. You know what we're like when we've had a really great night's sleep, or we've had a very restful weekend, or we've maybe had a really exciting, energizing experience, and we're just like this fullest, brightest version of ourselves. And I'm sure our dream days did not feature us at the other end of the scale, which is, you know, sort of fried, burnt out, tired, exhausted, just kind of drained and just not there. You know, our dream day was full of us being this best version of ourselves, this full expression of ourselves. We were springing out of bed, we were like energized, we were excited for the day, we were ready to go, we had all of this energy and all of this enthusiasm. And I think this is really important to always reconnect back to your dream day. Always think about how were you feeling in that moment. And I'm sure it was very common. It's you were energized, you were full of energy. And I think where a lot of us struggle, and where a lot of the talk around, you know, in the media has been about work-life balance and work-life boundaries, is this inability to maintain these energy levels. So there's always this thought that, you know, work drains you down, and then your weekends and your evenings are for boosting you back up again. And I think I want to really dispel that myth, really, because we have to look at our life as a whole picture. You know, the 24 hours in a day is how you spend your day, whether you're at work or whether you're at home, it's still your life. So there's a responsibility to look at your energy levels and look at energy drainers and energy boosters during your day, and taking some conscious decisions and conscious choices to make the right decisions and pick the right combination of those to mean that you keep yourself resourced and you keep yourself energized. There's a beautiful quote, and it's the things you do either give you energy or drain you, and you choose. And I love this because it empowers you to make the choice. You have the choice over what you do each day. You have the choice over where you devote your energies and how you spend your energies and how well you look after that energy and that resource that makes you who you are, that makes you the best version of you. So when we're thinking about energy, we're really thinking about this and how we can maintain this in the different areas of our lives. So work, starting off first of all, let's have a look at work, and let's have a look at how do you maintain your energy levels during your working day. Many of us, I'm sure, are very guilty of working too many hours, not taking a lunch break, not having a break after meetings, maybe doing back-to-back calls, meetings, jumping on emails, Messenger, trying to be this productive, super efficient person. But is that really in the sense of how we define productivity? Is it really time well spent? Are we spending it on the important tasks? Are we devoting a lot of energy in our day to the right kind of task? And this is coming back to, again, the attention side of things, where attention goes, energy flows. So work through the exercises from yesterday's lesson and have a think about where does your attention actually go. Energy-wise, what we're looking at is obviously work is going to take some sort of cognitive demand. It's going to demand your headspace and your ability to solve problems and deal with things and communicate, and that takes a lot of energy. But what we need to think about is, like, in our day, how can we fold in some key actions, some key things that are going to actually help us stay energized and stay resourced. So I know I've known from my own experience, I've certainly done this. I've worked through days where I've not taken a proper lunch break. I've worked through days where I've not drunk enough water. I've worked through days where I've drunk far too much coffee. I've worked through days where I've done stupid appointment schedules where I'm just going from back to back to back to back meeting. And I've not given myself the chance during the day to resource myself, to lift my energy levels back up again. So what we're thinking about when we're talking about work is have a think through a day that went very well, and think about what are the qualities of that day that kept your energy levels up. So by the time it got to 5 p.m, you were going home and you still had resources and energy left for the rest of the day, for your life that happens outside of work. It's such a shame that some of us, and I've been guilty of it, we approach work with this idea that we have, it's like an endurance and we have to get through, and then at the end of the day we've got no energy and resource for some of the things that actually are really, really meaningful to us, that actually will demand our attention, our energy, but they're the right things to spend our energy and attention on. It's relationships, friendships. It's our having energy to exercise and keep ourselves healthy. It's having energy to make the right diet choice and eat the right food, rather than be so depleted and so tired you're picking up a takeaway on the way home because you've just got no energy. And energy, I think, as well, is sort of folded in with this sort of idea of motivation as well. So thinking about that a little bit. thinking about what are the kind of things that boost you up at work, what are the kind of things that you get really excited about, really enthusiastic about, and thinking about, do I fill my day with those kind of things, or do I fill my day with a lot of the things that drag me down and that actually pull me, pull my energy levels down. And so this can be a little bit of a very subtle but a very gradual change as well, that you look at some of the things that actually are battery drainers, are really drag you down. And if any of you have done the Gen-ius guide on Zone of Genius, if you haven't done that yet, I would say go and do that, because that will give you some very clear pointers about where your skill sets and your talents lie, and what are the things that really energize you and motivate you and fulfill you, versus some of the tasks maybe that you're doing in your day that are dragging your energy levels down. So in this at work, I want you to think about battery chargers and battery drainers, because some of us have things that we absolutely adore doing, and we would do them all day long and still have tons of energy to come home and be fired up and really enthusiastic and motor mouth when we come in the door about. And then there's days where we've filled our days full of things that have just dragged us down, and we just feel so depleted and so tired and so drained that we don't have any energy left at the end of the day. So thinking about those things, thinking about making that differentiation. So think about those things that really charge you up, think about the things that really drain you down, your energy levels specifically and your mood, and identify a few key areas of things that boost you up and a few areas that bring you down, and then think about some actions that you can take to mediate that. So how could you, something that really boosts you up, how could you do more of that? Is there an opportunity, is there a possibility to have a conversation about that? Is there a way that you can structure your day better, that you can do more of that kind of work and less of the work that you don't enjoy? So also think about the things that are battery drainers and think, do they really need me to do them? Can I do them in a different way that they don't drag me down quite so much? What actions can I take? How can I improve my energy levels at work? Okay, so then next we're going to look at home, looking at this life outside of work. How do we maintain our energy levels? How do we boost our capacity to have a greater capacity and energy in the day? And obviously one of the main things we're looking at here is looking at our health. So looking at, what are we eating? How are we exercising? I know sometimes I felt like I just can't be bothered to do anything. I'm so drained, I'm so tired after work. But the most counterintuitive thing is to actually go for a run or go for a walk or get some fresh air or, get out on my bike. And I'm actually energized and boosted up by that, despite you think energy-wise, surely that should deplete you more. But the endorphin hit from that, and the fresh air and the clarifying sense that I have in my head, that I can sort of make sense of things that are maybe going around in my head. I can get a bit of that breathing space, and I can really sort of resource and energize myself. Another important thing is looking at, like nutrition and your health in the sense of what you eat and that you're drinking enough. Dehydration can cause massive effects on your ability to concentrate. It can have massively depleting effects on your energy levels. Athletes are looking at this. They're looking at, are they drinking enough water? Dehydration has such a huge impact on physical performance and mental performance too. So these little things that you think, well, yeah, I'm actually really bad for not drinking enough water. I'm really bad for not eating the right kind of food. I'm not giving myself the nutrients and the nutrition that I need to be able to do that. Another key area to look out for energy levels, and it's the wonder drug, we have a Gen-ius guide on it, it is sleep. Are you getting enough sleep? Are you getting enough good quality sleep? Check out our Gen-ius guide on it, read through it. Some of the stats are shocking. You need to make sure that you're getting enough sleep, because that energy and that reboot overnight makes such a massive difference. We all know we're like a different person if we have a good night's sleep, and we all know how much of a different person we are when we don't get a good enough night's sleep. So think about that as well. The other thing is, I think is another toolkit in this, is looking at moments of solitude, those precious moments of downtime. Those of you that have done the Boundaries Gen-ius guide will know, some of us have a need for physical space, for mental space, to just get some time away on our own and have that peace and quiet. And so think about, have I incorporated enough downtime? If your job is busy, people, and then you come home and you've got a family and you've got all of that to deal with as well, you're around people all the time. When does your brain stop and just sort of, when do you get a chance to check in with you? So things like, meditation apps and things like that are very common, and a lot of people have found a lot of benefit from them. For me, it's getting out for a walk without my phone, and I just get some headspace. I just get some time to just make sense of my day and just sort of file everything away in my head, and take a little bit of time out just for me. And that downtime can be incredibly boosting, to just sort of bring those energy levels back up again. So the question for home is thinking, what are the battery drainers, what are the battery chargers, and then thinking, okay, how can I reduce obviously the battery drainers, how can I take action to reduce those drainers, and how can I take action to actually boost those energy charges, and think about, okay, what actions can I take? Am I getting enough sleep? Am I having enough exercise? Am I eating healthily? Am I drinking enough water? Just a few key areas. You might have many others as well, but these are just some of the key culprits that usually when we're talking to people about it, this is the kind of stuff that's coming up. So have a think about your home life and have a think about those questions.